base assumption was that AI has the possibility to raise effectiveness, but only if we are able to integrate into our work in a way where people feel comfortable to work with it, like, so it's coming natural, and where AI can add value, additional value to the human process. And it is also, of course, controlled by the human process in the right way. So our assumption is that if we are not just buying a standard tool and implementing it, but we are really designing the way we want to work with AI and identifying where is the value that AI can bring effectiveness to us, to our processes, to our way of working, then we can really make an impact. So we are not experts in AI, and I think at this stage very few people are, or there's a growing number of people who are, but in many of us more heard about it but don't know how to use it. So we needed to get inspiration, we needed to get an understanding. And what we wanted to do is that as we are getting the inspiration from an expert on AI, on what are the possibilities out there with AI, right away start to apply that in a 6-week design sprint. And we will explain you why we call it a 6 weeks design sprint. But we right away provide the support to a group of people who will be redesigning the work, to infuse them with work redesign tools, solution-focused work redesign tools that they can apply, and by the end of the 6 weeks, or starting from the 6 weeks in the next couple of months, they can make a difference. They can try and test out the redesign of a part of a work process with an inspiration of AI and with the tools that we were giving to them. And we were very conscious that giving tools is great, but applying tools requires support and mentoring, and that's why we engaged to every four people a mentor who was working with them to support their thinking, to support to be a sounding board during the implementation of these work redesign tools for them. And at the end of the 6 weeks, and this is where we are right now, we are in the follow-up phase of point number 4. Then we asked the participants to share with us how far they reached with their projects, what were the tools that they were using, what are some of their reflections. So we are actually in this phase right now. We already heard 6 projects, so the progress report out of 6 projects, and then we keep engaging with the community to listen to their progress and to support them in their work.
One thing about the learning design is that is always a wonderful challenge. People in large corporations have very little time, and how can you create something meaningful and create big enough infusions week by week so that it's inspiring enough, it's big enough that they can go and start doing something with it, and on the other hand, not lose them when it becomes too much. And you see here the structure of the whole 6-week design sprint was that on each Monday, the selected participants, first a larger group of people who were invited to these AI infusion sessions, they participated in a 90 or a 60-minute session with an AI expert, Philip Drimalka. Actually, he was our collaborator in this. And then after a break, a smaller group of people, so these pre-selected 20 people who applied and they had their own projects, joined to our work redesign sessions. And initially we thought that the work redesign sessions might be also that we show some content, give them some tools, and then they go into team mentoring, into these fixed 4 people groups with a dedicated mentor so they can digest the tools we are handing over them. And of course, the idea is so that they go away and they do something with these tools and the AI knowledge that have gathered in that week. So by the time they come back next week, there's already some progress happening. As we went more into the nitty-gritty of the design, we also realized that the best thing to hand over work redesign and team design skills is actually if we handle them also as a team. So a lot of things we've actually tried out with them in these work redesign sessions. So there will be a lot of familiar things to you. We showed them how we can welcome each and everyone in a resource-focused way. So we tried that out in a small group, in these fixed mentoring groups. And immediately we talked about it and then we let them reflect on it. How could they make sure that they are not trying to change the world alone and trying to redesign processes or redesign functions alone, but who could be the possible collaborators for that? How could they use this resource-focused welcome to welcome them in a working group? So when they actually go away and start multiplicating already what we have done here. We also talked a lot about contracting, for example. How do you get people on board to a mission, which is maybe not in their job description, how to make sure that you clarify what they bring in and what they are getting out from this. And then off the people went, and next week we came back. They already could share with us the signs of progress. Who and how did they manage to land some collaborators to their project already? And then we went deeper into why is it so important and how they can do finding the purpose of their team, mission, topic that they are working on, and how they can make agreements together with these collaborators on the definition of success. So off they went, they did it again. We tried it out first in the small team mentoring groups. And then as you can see, so I'm not going to kind of read up the whole slide. You can see we touched on goal setting, action planning, service design tools, so how to involve or how to empathize with their potential clients, customers, either within the organization or outside, how to run calibration workshops, so how to run the whole mechanism, how they are designing together with the people and potentially designing together with their clients and customers, also by rethinking what they are working on and how they are working on supported with AI. And as you see in the beginning, we were mentoring the groups in these sessions, in fixed groups, and as we were getting closer to the end of the program, we mixed them up also so they could learn about other people's projects and other people's progresses as well. So with that, we started building the community that once the 6-week sprint is over, they know who is working on what kind of project. And we already find in the last session a lot of topics that they could connect together. So with that, they could realize they are not just working in 20 separated topics across the organization, but how these topics are actually interconnected or how they are supporting each other. Some participants were actually here to redesign, for example, the whole way how the regional sales is operating. And one of them was Eric, who brought in the situation that he's a regional manager, and every time they agree on some new work, some new topics, the country leads are asking for more headcounts. New work, new headcounts. And his topic was he wanted to come to this design sprint to figure out how he can show them that by using AI, they could do work differently. So they don't need new people, they can keep the headcounts and they don't have to grow continuously the headcount. So this was his mission. And what we saw throughout the weeks was incredible, because on the first session, he realized that it's actually not the country leads he has to work together with, but he also has to find some AI evangelists in his countries. So he went off and he searched for people who are interested or are already using in these different countries, different functions, AI. And he was working together with them throughout these 6 weeks, from week by week. What we did on Monday with the group here, he had a meeting together with them on Friday, and they did the same thing together. They defined a team purpose, they agreed how they are going to work on, and the end result was that they prepared sort of a presentation to all the country leads where they rethought how each sales function could be supported with AI. And when Eric came to present his findings about the whole process, the nicest thing he shared with us how he had 100 FTE allocated to their team, and his presentation's main message was, and 100 FTE stays 100 FTE. It's not going to be more, but by using AI, it's also not going to be less. And I think this was a very, very nice and very strong message that by using AI, they figured out how they could replace some functions, how they can make things easier, especially in the administrative part of the work, and how they can use that capacity that frees up from this to other meaningful sales work that could actually help them to reach their goals. So you see, some people used it actually for redesigning how the whole regional setup is going to work. That was one of my favorite stories.
And Lou is responsible. She's one of our colleagues from China, and she's responsible for an AI agent that is called Genie. And Genie's purpose is to support our internal sales colleagues or internal colleagues, as well as later on, there's a vision for it to support our customers by answering their technical questions. Any question related to the product installation, product specific questions. And Lou came into the training or into our sprint already having an AI agent developed. So she already had almost like the end product there. And I was curious what she will take out from the process that we are going together, because in theory she already reached it. There was an agent, and the agent just need to be rolled out. And what she realized is that her big challenge was how to bring this AI agent, to the multiple countries and to the multiple environments, and to motivate people to start using Genie as an AI agent. A big aha moment for Lou was that she realized that when they were developing the agent, it was a really technical work, and that she needed to engage the community that she will need to work with and almost reimagine with them what we would like to achieve with an agent like Genie, and recontract with them on how will she work together with these different groups across the globe to roll out Genie, and that the rollout might be different in different countries based on the preferred future, kind of like the future that they can imagine for them with Genie. And she super quickly scaled it up. So from one session to another, using Mural that she also learned to use in our training, she created a massive mural. She started to set up meetings, and now she's having agreement about preferred futures and a contract on what they will do together in 20 plus geographies, which is, I think it was a beautiful trip for her.